are bowling for $35,000 in this single final match. 23 to the winner, the runner-up 12. Anthony will shoot first. He's just off a big 269 game with 9 strikes, opening on the left lane. That's the way he started the previous match. Powerful strike. Now, here is Frank Ellenburg. He's 28 years old, born in Miami, Florida, son of a Marine sergeant, so they moved around the country a lot. Now he's bowling out of Mesa, Arizona. Tournament leader, 4 out of the 6 rounds. Ball from the right side.
Whew. Chris, last week, Earl Anthony went against Steve Cook, who he had never beaten for a championship. And this week, and he didn't last week, as we know, Earl finished second. This week, he's going against another player he's never beaten for a championship, Frank Ellenburg. Interesting situation. Both of those players, as you recall, Cook 6'5", Ellenburg 6'5". It looks like the way to beat Earl Anthony is grow to be 6'5".
Cook did not compete this week. Defending champion Mike Durbin finished 27th. Mark Roth placed 35th. Ever so close. The 10-pin is there, so Frank Ellenburg will have to try and cover it on the left lane.
Frank, one of the players that opts for a harder, slicker ball to shoot spares going across lane. Just nice, firm speed, straight shot at the 10-pin.
Here's a replay from a profile angle.
By the book, he credits Don Johnson and his good friend Freddie Borden from Akron, Ohio, of helped developing his game. He's really in ideal position. Look at all that power and leverage. Good knee bend, tremendous extension.
Anthony carefully placing himself on the approach of the right lane. Second frame. Strike up. Coming up a little high, leaving the 6.
This is going to be a battle to the end, Chris. Earl Anthony, very tough, determined to win. Could have taken an early lead, but he doesn't get a break with the trip 6. 3-pin goes to the sideboard, takes out the 10. No break on the 6-pin. It'll be all even with a conversion through 2 frames.
38 titles. You know, Earl and Betty Morris combined to set a pace for bowlers all over the country. Nelson to raise over $500,000 for the National Bowling Hall of Fame in your hometown, which has groundbreaking April 20th.
That's super. I know it's important to all the players. And talking about raising money, Miller High Life has pledged a minimum of $3 to the United States Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs for America's athletes in both the 1984 Summer and Winter Games. Part of the proceeds from this tournament is going for that Olympic fund, Chris.
How much total?
$3 million. Not a bad start for our athletes.
And Earl Anthony, strike, spare, strike. Replay of that steady, steady head.
Watch those eyes. I mean, they are amazing. And how steady that head is, I think, is one of the most critical things in the game of bowling that we don't look at very often. Not even a hair is ruffled as he goes through the shot, and never a blink on the way to the foul line.
Third frame. 7-pin. 6'5", 215 pounds.
Really powerful arms, Chris. He works with his hands a lot. He's really proud of his ability to squeeze when he shakes hands. And if you want to feel a meat cleaver squeeze down, and you try to squeeze Frank Ellenburg on that particular shot, he just squeezed out the 5'7" for an easy spare.
Spent 3 years in the armed forces, serving as a sergeant. Anthony has a strike up shooting in the 4th frame, our final game. Such control, speed, placement of the ball.
Just perfect, Chris. It just ball enters the 1-2 pocket. Every pin takes out each pin just like it's supposed to. Not much you can say about it. One thing we always said is when you see the 7-pin for a left-hander or the 10-pin for a right-hander fall in towards the center, that means you're entering the pocket at absolutely the perfect angle. when you can make the pin fall in like Earl did the 7-pin that time.
Side. The 10-pin goes.
Chris almost left a solid 10 with a 3-6 being driven straight up in the air, and he got it a backdoor shot out of the pit. Tremendous, powerful shot. Extended his lead to 21 pins, but don't count this young man out. He is tough.
5th in the United States Open in Houston, losing the opening match to Dave Husted, who is the alternate today. Okay, a big, powerful Ellenburg strike. We talked to Frank earlier about his technique.
I like to play inside because I like to throw the ball a little bit harder, and I like to hook the ball a little bit. It seemed to be very conducive on this week's lane condition to throw a little bit harder to get it through the heads, and I have enough on the ball to where I can get it back in the back end to get a lot of strikes.
All the powerful players usually like to play down the center of the lane, Chris, as you've said before, and hold that hook down at the back end. He could cut the lead to 1 pin with a strike.
Okay, 1 pin now separating Earl Anthony, who's up, and Frank Ellenburg in the final match, Miller High Life Open. Anthony will be shooting on the right lane. Yeah, it's a 3-bagger working. We have reached the 6th frame. There you see 1 pin. Trying to win his 3rd of the year.
This could be the match of the year, Chris. Earl Anthony is determined as we've seen him all year, and Frank Ellenburg just does not lose. He may get beat, but he doesn't lose. Anybody's match, 4 frames to go for $23,000.
Pin lead as we get another look from our extra camera angle, the left side.
Watch Earl Anthony, how he moves the ball slightly behind his back and then realigns it with his left shoulder as he comes through and lifts straight through. Look at the very little turn. They talk about the basics. Earl Anthony has the basic release, control of the ball. And right now, Frank Ellenburg needs a strike to stay right in the match.
3 in a row. Isn't he tough?